Hi everybody! Today we are going to talk about how to avoid the bleeding effect when you are doing a stencil. Stenciling is something that we do at our craft nights a lot, so I thought this would be a great first video to start off of how to avoid bleeding and when painting, and the two techniques that I use to avoid that. So here it goes. I'm going to talk about supply first. So I have my plate with some paint on it. I like using the paper plate because you can just toss it and you don't have to worry about it. You want your paints, and I have a white that I'm going to be using too. Your board, and we're going to be painting bunnies today. So for Easter, your paintbrushes. I like the 1-inch foam paintbrush, and for one technique, and the other one I like to use just a round bristly brush, really inexpensive on Michaels. And what I also like to have on hand is a heavy vase. This is just a vase that I got. I think it was from one of the flowers that my sweetheart sent me. And I like it because it's heavy. And it's not just like a solo cup where you fill it up with water, and if you throw a paintbrush in it, it might tip over. Not like that. So I wanted something heavy. That way, if I throw a paintbrush in, I don't have to worry about spillage. Okay. Okay, so now that the board is all painted, we're gonna go ahead and apply the vinyl decal. So this is what it looks like. What you wanna do is peel the backing off as soon as I can get it off. The backing off like this. And then so you have the stencil with the transfer tape that's on the surface. You place it however you would like, and I think I like it right there. So I'm gonna leave it like this, push it down a little bit, and then I'm gonna peel off the transfer tape, which is the top layer. My transfer tape is clear. Some people use white transfer tape, which it's pretty much the same. So here I have this, push it down, and here comes the two methods. So one of them, you're gonna be painting the same color as underneath. This is not my favorite method, but a lot of people swear by it. So that way you already fill in like the under the color. So if it does bleed, it is bleeding purple right now. You're basically sealing all the edges before you add your color. So I'm gonna let that dry. Why I don't like this method is that it takes more time to dry, and then you actually apply your color. My other method is that I like to use this brush, and it's almost like a dry brush technique, and I'll show you. You dip a little tiny bit of paint, you almost basically wipe it off, or you work it into the brush, and it looks like you actually don't have any paint. I'm trying to get up to the camera. It actually looks like there's barely any paint on there, which is what you want. You don't want any clumping. And so you come to your stencil. I like to dab it a little bit, and then I swirl a little bit. So you don't actually have any clump of paint on your board at any time. So it doesn't really give it a chance to bleed. And what I like about this is that it's thin layers of paint, and because it's so thin, it dries a lot faster. So you let that dry a little bit, and then you probably have to do a couple layers while the top is still dry. Okay, so now that the whole thing is dry, here it is. And I just added a little blue thing border because I thought it might be cute. So what I'm gonna do now, so that's basically it for the stenciling part. And look how clean it is. There is no bleeding anywhere. Both techniques work just fine. So it really just your preference. I'm actually gonna add a fluffy tail, so I'm going to do a little bit of glue, squeeze a little bit more. This is my favorite glue. I do use this for everything. And then now I'm gonna put a little fluffy tail on it. Just a little puff ball, so now you have this little 3D puffy tail bunny. This is actually a craft that I'm going to be doing with my kids next week sometime. Super easy. What I'm going to do is just let them paint the board whatever color they want, and then do the stencil bunny and put the fluff on it. This is something they can keep in their room for Easter. It's their own little decoration. Or if they want to set it out in the living room, that's fine with me too. Give them the color that you want. That's actually one of my tricks. Give them the color that you would want to display in your home. You know, don't let them pick out the colors. I mean, they can definitely pick out their own colors, but give them a selection of the color schemes that you want. That way they still have a choice and they're the colors that you want. Ta-da! That's my tip of the day with kids crafting. So anyways, join me next Wednesday because I'm actually going to be talking about my must-have tools in my garage that I use all the time for all of my crafting needs. So yeah, definitely check back in if you like the video and you want to keep seeing these. Follow my Facebook page, my YouTube. Definitely check back, share it with your friends because there's going to be lots of things. I have so many ideas on what I want to do. So there'll be videos on making pom-poms. There'll be videos on how to do jewelry stamping, and basically anything that I have learned in the past, I will probably do a video about it. So thank you for watching. You guys have an amazing day. Bye.